Guys, I figured out what all of the best blogs have in common.
No way.
I did too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. This is not it. Okay, we've decided there is more than one way for a blog to be successful, more than one attribute, I should say.
Just a couple. In all seriousness, really excited to share these. I'm particularly excited for number 4 because it has to do with SEO and analytics and how to adapt based on those. We have a lot of great ones. So Nathan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, let's get into it. Expertise and passion. This is the first attribute that we figured was going to be really, really important. And as we looked at other websites and other blogs, this is something that a lot of successful websites had. And to me, there's kind of two reasons or kind of two parts of this. So let's talk about the expertise. When you are an expert in something, it automatically gives you authority. Expertise is really, really important in Google's eyes. And so if you can automatically be an expert, that's something that's really going to help you get a jump start on having a successful website.
It's so important to genuinely care about your topic.
Yeah. I think passion's also going to translate into the content you create. If it's something that you're just doing it because you love, kind of like what Julia just said, if you're doing it because you love it, then you are going to pour everything you have into your content and your audience is going to be able to see that. The second attribute we found important is to have a unique voice and authenticity. Being able to approach your topic from a unique angle is really going to help you get into your niche. And when I say getting into your niche, I really mean like finding your space in the niche. Getting into blogging can seem really overwhelming and kind of difficult, but if you have a unique angle, you are going to bring something new to the table. And that's something that nobody else has, and that's you. The information in your niche is going to be the same for everybody. And someone could go to 20 other websites and find the same information you have, but what you bring to the table is your unique perspective, and that's what people will end up staying for.
People will attach to that brand more, they'll feel more loyal to it, and it'll feel more authentic if you have opinions. One way I like to look at this is instead of something that you're trying to add, instead of something you're trying to force, is something that you're just going to let happen. So if you're opinionated about something, don't like wash it out. Don't try to be middle of the road, because if you're talking to everybody, you may have heard this in marketing, you're talking to nobody. And so just allow yourself to have those opinions and have that unique brand, that unique perspective for your brand instead of trying to stomp it out.
And if you like our opinions not watered down, then consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel.
Okay, on to the next point is knowing your audience and understanding your audience. I feel like so much emphasis is put on knowing your audience. Who's your audience? Who's your demographic? Who are the type of people searching? But understanding them is equally important to understand why are they searching these things, not just who they are, but why are they searching? What's the real searcher intent? And then with that, there's the pain points that they have. And by looking at all of those things, and the more you understand them, the more you can address those pain points.
And I think the pain points is a really important part. So let's say you have a car blog and someone's, maybe you write an article on how to change brakes on a vehicle or whatever. Well, why is the person searching that in the first place? Well, there could be a couple reasons. Maybe their brakes are out. I would say, first of all, maybe it's too expensive to have someone else change the brakes for them. So now they're looking at trying to do it themselves. So in your article, rather than just giving them here's step A, B, C, D of how to change brakes, address some of their other concerns, help them understand that you see the whole picture. And I think when you start to do that, your audience will realize that you're talking about things that other people aren't talking about. Even if it's not completely relevant to their original search, if you help your audience see that you understand what they're going through and that you can address some of their related questions to whatever they searched, then they're going to come back to you for more.
And I think that's the kind of thing that also keeps them jumping around from page to page. It makes them loyal. Makes them more likely to subscribe to your email list or your info product because they feel understood. So even though they maybe don't know what answer they're looking for in the info product, they trust that you have it because they feel like you understand them.
Yeah. Okay, we have a little bit of a bonus for you, and this is audience engagement. And we're still going to cover a couple other points, but I thought this one fit really, really well. As part of building your website, you want to build more than just a blog. You want to eventually build a brand. And so for some of you smaller bloggers, that might not be the goal right now, but to build a really successful website, having a brand is really important. And part of that is engaging with your audience. There are so many ways to do this, but there are a couple really simple ways. Like you can enable comments on your blog and then take the time to respond to those who have commented on your blog posts. You can engage with people on social media as your brand name, like join Facebook groups as your brand name, go on Reddit as your brand name, and then give people helpful information there. They will start to recognize that what you're doing is valuable.
You don't even have to make a whole page.
Yes.
This can feel so overwhelming, like, oh, I have to make a whole brand page, and then how often do I have to publish on it? Like Nathan said, you can just respond to comments as your brand name and don't even worry about having the whole page yet. It doesn't have to be overly complicated to get in it and get started with that.
Yeah, we have actually a whole video on branding, so you guys can check out that video. It's really, really helpful to know where you can start with your brand.
Get there. Yes. Now let's talk about continuous growth and improvement. This is the one I was excited about because you can just keep adapting and get better and better in a really efficient way based on what is working. You can look at the SEO and the analytics, and you can look at comments and what people want, and you can look at news. There are so many different data points you can find to figure out how to adapt your blog and what's going to work. You can look at other blogs, what other people are doing with their SEO. You can look at your own analytics, what's working for you, and you can get organic feedback from your audience. And a combination of this can be really good because you don't want to go too far one way because of one piece of information.
Right. Anyone who's been around for a while knows that things are changing all the time. And so being able to adapt is a really, really important skill to keep yourself relevant in the business. One tool that I really love is Google Search Console. On the analytics side, there are endless numbers there that are going to help you find out what content's doing well and why, and finding out what other content could do well potentially. And I will say one other thing, when it comes to kind of shifting your focus or expanding out and trying new things, video has worked really well for us, and that's one that we push a lot. And you guys hear us pushing that a lot, and that's why, is when you need to adapt or change your business a little bit based on what's working, video is one that's been really, really helpful for us.
It can build trust. It's a way to give people more information, especially information that they're not necessarily searching for. It's an organic way to build a bigger audience. It works well. It's intimidating, but give it a try. You'll get used to it.
Another thing that's really intimidating for bloggers is monetization, and that's actually the next point. I think monetization is something that most of us would say contributes to being a successful blog. Most of us want to make some sort of business out of this. And I think one way you can find more value in monetization is just trying new things. There are so many ways to monetize a blog. One thing that works for one person might not work for you, even if you're in the same niche. And so getting outside of the box, get outside of your comfort zone and try something new. You're not going to know what works until you try it. And finally, maintain integrity, be honest and upfront with your audience, and try to solve their real problems. Rather than just focusing on the revenue, try and solve their problems and let them know that you care about finding solutions for them.
If you care, it'll show.
Yeah.
And we really want to know what attributes you notice in the blogs that you enjoy the most, the ones that you keep coming back to, or maybe you're there for a one-time answer, but you felt like it was really helpful. So let us know in the comments what attributes you notice in blogs that you find the best.
Thanks for watching.